The camera fades in on the bright, cheerful set of Lorraine Kelly's morning show, with the host herself sitting comfortably in her signature armchair, a warm smile plastered across her face as she introduces her next guest. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the incredibly talented Gary Oldman." The audience erupts into applause as Gary strides onto the stage, dressed in a sharp suit, waving politely before taking his seat. Lorraine leans forward, her eyes twinkling with that familiar Scottish charm. "Gary, it's an absolute delight to have you here. You've had such an illustrious career, from Sitting Nancy to your Oscar-winning performance in Darkest Hour. What draws you to these transformative roles?" Gary nods thoughtfully, his deep voice resonating through the studio. "Well, Lorraine, it's about diving into the psyche of the character, understanding their motivations, their flaws. Acting is about truth, isn't it? Portraying real human experiences." The conversation flows smoothly at first, touching on his latest projects and personal anecdotes, but then Lorraine shifts gears, pulling out a clip from one of his older interviews. "Now, Gary, you've been quite outspoken in the past about certain political views. Care to elaborate on that?" Gary's expression hardens slightly, but he maintains composure. "I'd rather focus on my work, if you don't mind. Politics can be divisive, and I'm here to talk about film." Lorraine presses on, her tone light but insistent. "Oh, come on, Gary, the audience loves a bit of controversy. What about your comments on cancel culture? You said it was stifling creativity." The tension begins to build as Gary shifts in his seat, his fingers tapping rhythmically on the armrest. "Look, Lorraine, I've expressed my opinions before, but let's not turn this into a debate. I'm an actor, not a pundit." The host laughs it off, but the audience senses the unease. She continues probing, referencing a recent tweet that Gary allegedly liked, which sparked online backlash. "Some say it's insensitive. What's your take?" Gary's voice rises a notch. "Insensitive? That's the problem these days. Everything is twisted out of context. People are too quick to judge without understanding." Lorraine counters with a raised eyebrow. "But Gary, in today's world, words matter. Don't you think celebrities have a responsibility?" The exchange heats up, with Gary defending his right to free speech while Lorraine advocates for sensitivity. The studio crew exchanges nervous glances as the discussion veers off script. Suddenly, Gary stands up abruptly. "This isn't an interview, it's an ambush." Lorraine looks taken aback. "Gary, please sit down. We're just chatting." But he shakes his head, unclipping his microphone. "No, I've had enough of this. Thank you for having me." He storms off the set, leaving Lorraine to awkwardly transition to a commercial break. The audience murmurs in shock, and social media explodes with clips of the moment. Back in the control room, producers scramble to handle the fallout, while Lorraine composes herself on air. "Well, that was unexpected, folks. We'll be right back after this." The incident becomes the talk of the town, with fans divided, as some praising Gary for standing his ground, others criticizing him for overreacting. Analysts dissect the clash, pointing to broader issues in celebrity interviews. Gary later issues a statement via his publicist, expressing regret for the abrupt exit but standing by his views. Lorraine, ever the professional, addresses it in her next show, wishing him well. The video script captures the drama, interspersing reenactments with expert commentary. Viewers are hooked, replaying the heated moments. This clash highlights the fine line between entertainment and confrontation in morning television. As the story unfolds, it raises questions about host-guest dynamics and the pressure of live TV. In the end, both parties move on, but the viral clip ensures the memory lingers. Following the dramatic exit, the video delves deeper into the backstory of the clash, exploring what led to such a fiery exchange on what was supposed to be a lighthearted morning slot. Gary Oldman, known for his intense portrayals and method acting, has always been candid in interviews, but this time, it seemed personal. Lorraine Kelly, with her decades of experience, is beloved for her empathetic style, yet she didn't back down. The script recreates the pre-show preparations, Gary arriving at the studio, greeted warmly by the team, discussing topics like his family life and upcoming films. Lorraine reviews her notes, including some edgier questions to spice up the segment. As the interview progresses in the reenactment, The turning point comes when Lorraine brings up Gary's past controversies, perhaps referencing his 2014 Playboy interview where he defended Mel Gibson and expressed frustration with political correctness. "Gary, do you stand by those remarks today?" she asks pointedly. Gary's face flushes. "That was years ago, and context matters. Why dredge up old news?" Lorraine smiles, trying to keep it amicable, because it's relevant to today's conversations about accountability in Hollywood. The argument escalates as Gary accuses the show of sensationalism. "You're not interested in my craft, you want clicks and views." Lorraine defends her approach. "This is daytime TV, Gary, we talk about everything." The audience gasps as profanities slip in, bleeped for the video. Security intervenes subtly, escorting Gary off as he mutters under his breath. Post-incident, the video includes reactions from celebrities and fans. One tweet reads, "Gary Oldman is a legend for calling out the BS." Another counters, "Lorraine was just doing her job." Rude. Experts weigh in. A media analyst notes, "This reflects the evolving landscape where guests push back against invasive questioning." The script builds suspense with slow-motion replays of the walk-off, dramatic music underscoring the tension. Lorraine's show ratings spike, proving controversy sells. Gary, meanwhile, uses the buzz to promote his next project subtly. The narrative examines the psychological toll, with Gary reportedly feeling betrayed by the ambush-style interview. Lorraine, in a follow-up segment, explains her intent was to engage deeply, not offend. The video script weaves in archival footage of similar incidents in TV history, like famous walk-offs, drawing parallels. It questions the ethics of morning shows. Are they entertainment or journalism? As the paragraph unfolds, it paints a vivid picture of the aftermath, with paparazzi hounding both stars. Social media memes flood the internet, turning the clash into a cultural moment. Ultimately, the script suggests reconciliation might be possible, with whispers of Gary returning for a redo. But for now, the heated clash remains a benchmark for on-air drama, reminding viewers of the unpredictability of live television. The video script continues by analyzing the public fallout from Gary Oldman's abrupt departure from Lorraine Kelly's show, capturing the whirlwind of media coverage that ensued. News outlets pounce on the story, with headlines screaming Oldman versus Kelly, the clash that shook morning TV. Tabloids speculate on behind-the-scenes drama, suggesting pre-existing tension. In the reenactment, we see Lorraine wrapping up the show gracefully, joking, "Well, that's live TV for you and never a dull moment." Backstage, Gary vents to his agent, "That was unprofessional." The script incorporates fan interviews. A young admirer says, "Gary was right, she pushed too far." An older viewer defends Lorraine, "He's too sensitive for a tough industry." Social media trends with #Oldman walk off, amassing millions of views. Clips go viral on TikTok, edited with dramatic effects and captions like "When the interview goes wrong." The narrative explores Gary's history of candidness, referencing his apologies for past comments and his evolution as an artist. Lorraine's reputation as a kind host is contrasted with this rare confrontation. Commentators debate free speech versus decorum. A psychologist chimes in, "High-stress environments like live TV can amplify emotions." The video includes a timeline. Minute 1 a warm welcome, Minute 5 a shift to controversy, Minute 8 a escalation, Minute 10 a exit. Slow motion highlights Gary's frustrated expression and Lorraine's surprised reaction. Producers reveal in anonymous quotes that the questions were approved, but Gary's response was unforeseen. The script builds empathy for both sides, Gary feeling cornered, Lorraine aiming for engaging content. Celebrity friends rally. One actor tweets support for Gary, "Stand your ground." Another praises Lorraine's poise. The incident sparks discussions on interview etiquette, with workshops for hosts on handling volatile guests. As the story progresses, it shows Gary at home, reflecting on the event, perhaps regretting the heat but not the stance. Lorraine addresses it on air the next day. "We love Gary and hope to have him back." The video script interlaces humor, with satirical skits parodying the clash. It questions the role of morning shows in societal discourse. Do they inform or entertain? The aftermath sees increased viewership for Lorraine, while Gary's films gain renewed interest. Memes evolve, turning the moment into pop culture fodder. In closing this segment, the script hints at broader implications for celebrity privacy in the digital age, where every word is scrutinized. The clash, though heated, underscores the human element in entertainment. Passions run high, and sometimes they boil over. Diving into the cultural impact, the video script examines how Gary Oldman's kickoff from Lorraine Kelly's show resonated beyond the studio, influencing public discourse on celebrity interactions. Reenactments show the immediate online frenzy, with forums buzzing, "Was Lorraine too nosy?" versus "Gary overreacted." The narrative traces similar events, like other celebrity walk-offs, positioning this as part of a trend. Gary's publicist releases a statement. Mr. Oldman regrets the manner of his exit but felt the need to defend his boundaries. Lorraine responds graciously in an interview, "It's all part of the job, no hard feelings." The script includes expert panels. A TV historian notes, "Morning shows thrive on relatability, but boundaries blur." A PR specialist advises, "Guests should prep for tough questions." Fan art emerges, depicting the clash in cartoons and edits. The video uses dramatic narration. In a split second, a routine chat turned chaotic. Close-ups capture micro-expressions: Gary's clenched jaw, Lorraine's widened eyes. Social metrics soar. The clip garners 10 million views in 24 hours. Brands capitalize, with ads parodying the moment. The story explores Gary's career arc, from rebellious youth roles to seasoned statesman portrayals, suggesting his real-life fire mirrors his characters. Lorraine's enduring appeal as the nation's mom is tested but holds strong. Commentators discuss gender dynamics. Would it be different if the host was male? The script builds tension with hypothetical what-ifs. What if Gary stayed? Would the clash escalate further? Post-event, Gary appears on a podcast, elaborating, "I value honesty, but not at the cost of respect." Lorraine's ratings dip briefly then rebound with supportive messages. The video incorporates global reactions, from U.S. talk shows commenting to international fans debating. It questions the pressure on celebrities to be perfect. One slip, and you're viral for the wrong reasons. Memes flood Instagram, with filters mimicking Gary's exit. The narrative shifts to healing. Rumors of a private apology exchange surface. In this paragraph, the script emphasizes growth they both learned from the experience. Analysts predict more guarded interviews ahead. The clash becomes a case study in media training courses. As the video unfolds, it humanizes the stars. Behind the glamour, they're people with limits. The incident sparks petitions for better guest vetting on shows. Ultimately, it reinforces TV's unpredictability, keeping audiences tuned in for the next big moment. The script now focuses on the long-term repercussions of the heated clash between Gary Oldman and Lorraine Kelly, illustrating how it altered their professional trajectories. In reenactments, we see Gary fielding calls from directors, some wary of his temper, others intrigued by the publicity. "This could be gold for your next role," one says. Lorraine, meanwhile, hosts a special episode on Tough Talks, turning the negative into positive. The narrative delves into personal reflections. Gary journals about the event, vowing to choose appearances wisely. Lorraine confides in colleagues, "I didn't mean to push that hard." Social media evolves from outrage to analysis, with threads dissecting body language. Experts break it down. Gary's exit was a power move. The video includes montages of past Gary interviews, showing his pattern of forthrightness. Lorraine's highlights reel her compassionate side. Commentators ponder, is this the end of unfiltered chats? Fan campaigns urge reconciliation, with #Bring Gary Back trending. The script builds drama with imagined alternate endings, a calm discussion leading to mutual respect. Reality, however, sees Gary skipping UK press for a while. Lorraine's show adapts, softening edgier segments. The story explores mental health angles, stress of fame amplified by live scrutiny. Therapists note, such clashes can trigger anxiety. Viral remixes set the argument to music, turning it comedic. The paragraph examines industry ripple effects. Hosts strain on the escalation, guests demand question previews. Gary's box office sees a bump from curiosity seekers. Lorraine wins an award for resilience. Global media covers it, from BBC to TMZ. The script interweaves humor, Satirical sketches on SNL parody The Walk-Off. It questions ethics. Should shows prioritize ratings over respect? As time passes, The Clash fades but leaves a legacy. Gary returns to the UK for a film premiere, avoiding morning TV. Lorraine mentions it lightheartedly in memoirs. The video concludes this section with optimism. Conflicts can lead to better understanding. In hindsight, both emerge stronger, their careers enriched by the experience. Wrapping up the video script, we reflect on the enduring lessons from Gary Oldman's stormy exit from Lorraine Kelly's show, emphasizing themes of communication and boundaries in the entertainment world. Reenactments revisit the pivotal moments, with enhanced audio capturing the rising voices. Enough, Gary declares, microphone dropping with a thud. Lorraine's composed farewell masks inner turmoil. The narrative compiles legacy footage. Years later, the clip still circulates in top TV fails compilations. Gary, in a reflective interview, laughs it off. Water under the bridge. Lorraine echoes, made for great TV. Fans reminisce in forums, sharing how it sparked conversations on respect. Experts conclude, this clash humanized celebrities. The script explores broader societal mirrors. In an era of cancel culture, standing firm has risks and rewards. Montages show evolving media landscapes, with more empathetic hosting styles emerging. Gary's advocacy for actor rights gains traction. Lorraine's show thrives, incorporating viewer feedback. Commentators predict fewer walk-offs with better prep. The story highlights positivity. The incident fostered industry dialogues on mental wellness. Viral challenges recreate the scene harmlessly. The paragraph underscores forgiveness. Rumors of a joint charity event surface. As the video nears end, it poses, what if clashes like this lead to progress? Gary's career soars with acclaimed roles. Lorraine remains a staple. The Clash, once shocking, becomes anecdotal lore. In closing, the script celebrates resilience. From heated words to healed relations, TV endures. Viewers are left pondering their own boundaries and daily interactions.